My name is Carson. Welcome back to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we're doing a comparison on our work trucks. Over here on my left, we've got our 2002 truck. We're going to call it our $5,000 truck. We're going to be doing a towing test with our mini excavator on here. And we've got my 2007 Chevy Silverado with the Duramax. We're going to call it our $15,000 truck. And not pictured here will be our 2015 $30,000 truck. So we'll show you some more details as we're driving the trucks around. But basically the premise of the video is we're going to do a miles per gallon loop. We're going to be towing the mini excavator. We've got about, so let's say 12 to 14,000 pounds behind the tow vehicle. We're going to just compare each vehicle, see what does best in our situation. So stick around. Well, I'm not sure how accurate this is going to be because this airbag was conflated to 70 psi, so I think that kind of helps aid the pressure. But anyways, 2007, we're about 39.5 on the driver's side. Passenger side, we're about 39 and 7/8. Okay, and on this truck, we upgraded to the in-bed hookup. That's a little kit you can order that just plugs into the factory harness underneath. Down here, it just plugs in down to that one, and then you run it up under the bed in the wheel well, pop in there. So we upgraded that. I think those are about 100 to 120 bucks. Let's go ahead and hook this on. I guess before we do that, we've got our full weight on right now, so we can see where we're at stock, and then we can turn on the airbags and see where it brings us to. So we are on the driver's side. We're about 38 3/8. Passenger side, we are at 38 and 3/8, or maybe a 16th shy of 3/8. We got our airlift airbags here. Turn it on. Go from 5 psi up to our preset of 70 psi. You can hear that running underneath the bed. Just did a review on the Kurt versus B&W hitch. We've got a Kurt gooseneck hitch on this one, turnover ball, and we've got a B&W on the 2002. Man, our sky is just lit up tonight. Beautiful. We just had a storm a couple days ago, and it is super humid right now. After airbags, we are back up to 38 and 3/8. Isn't that what we were at before? I can't remember. Airbags definitely make a difference in the ride. So our passenger side, we're almost 40. Yeah, we're right at 40 inches, which I think is pretty close to the factory height. Could be wrong. We'll have to look at the notes on that. Okay, this load's ready to go. Okay, let's put this in tow haul mode. We got 169,597. So these are 100,000 miles apart, almost exactly. Let's go fuel up and set our starting point. Okay, we're exactly 169,600 miles. Trip A, trip B. Let's go trip B. reset that. So I want to say I've probably owned this truck for 50,000 miles, if that's how much is on trip A. Okay, let's hit the road. Make sure we don't hit this hump right here. Okay, so this truck right here, this is my baby. This is my dream truck. I dreamed of this truck from an early age. I wanted a crew cab, long bed, Duramax, cat eye truck, lifted, you know, like 4 to probably 6-inch lift and 33s or 35s, probably 35s. That was the winning ticket right there. So when I started my business, there was probably part of me that, I'll turn off this blinker. When I started my business, that was one thing that really, you know, it was a want. It wasn't just a need, but it was a justified want, like most of my purchases. And you're good, Tundra. Okay, get into the traffic here. Keep talking at you. So it was a justified want, just like many things in my life. I'm not a, you know, hard to please person. I don't have a lot of desires, and most of the desires that I do have, I try to justify through the business or through other means. I'm tightwad. It's hard for me to spend money. So hence the channel name. And as I'm going through life, I'm realizing that sometimes spending more money up front causes less headaches in the long run. But anyways, enough of preaching at you from there. So yeah, this give you some light so you can see me. This is my dream truck, and you know, to be honest, it's kind of let me down a little bit. And I know there might be some LBZ lovers out there that give me some hate on that, but it just hasn't been the entirely the truck I wanted. It's been a great truck, don't get me wrong, but it has let me down a time or two. It has had some maintenance costs and those type of things. So yeah, I mean, this truck, like everything I do, is a little bit of research and development. So this truck was my entry into ownership of a full-size truck. This is my first full-size truck I ever purchased, but it was also an entry into the diesel world. And you know, the new diesel trucks are just a little bit of a letdown because they're essentially the same as a 70s or 80s car, with all the EPA regulations that happened on cars and emissions in that time period. So diesels are going through a little bit of a adolescent stage right now, and the new trucks, I don't know if they've got it as far as liability or even, you know, the MPG to offset the fuel costs. I mean, I just filled this at what was it, like $5.20 a gallon? Gas was $4.50 a gallon. I mean, it's pretty fuel prices are high right now. But I got this truck, I justified it because of fuel prices. I figured I'd get about 50% higher gas mileage than the gas trucks. And I'll be honest, this truck's not running very well right now. It probably needs a tune-up, but again, another reason I'm moving away from the diesel as far as you know, pros and cons is I can't find a reliable, reputable shop that can work on this truck. I can find some, you know, there's normal shops everywhere, and I found several shops that I trust that do my suspension and other repairs when I don't have a time to do it myself. I needed the catalytic converter and the muffler, and they actually gave me the cut-off catalytic converter muffler, and I have since welded back on that equipment, and you know, I don't feel like there's any negative repercussions by doing that, but I do feel like it's been tuned. And the reason I say I don't think it's running well right now is because typically when I'm towing like this in tow haul mode, if I'm on the freeway at a consistent speed, if I push into the throttle, if I give it a blip of throttle, usually it'll do a little puff of black smoke. And as of recent, it's having more black smoke. And I'll be honest, when I was an adolescent teenager, I thought that was cool stuff. But as I become more educated, you know, I'm not a subscriber to smoking the black stuff. So and the reason for that is basically it's just money going down the drain. So back to being a tightwad, I think it cost me about $1,000 to get it tuned at the right shop, and to return it back to stock, and that's probably what I would do. And I'd probably perhaps see some fuel savings, because right now I feel like I'm overusing fuel. But I'm just too much of a tight wad to even make that $1,000 investment. So I guess I'm just bleeding myself slowly instead of all at once. But anyways, it's through and through a work truck. The interior's a little bit rough. I think it was a painter's truck at one point in time. There's some epoxy or something in the bed, some paint that's you know, you can't power wash it out. The entire interior of the cab here has little flakes of white paint on it. So I believe it was a painter's truck for a period of time. Like I said, it relatively low miles. I mean, I bought this like 125,000 miles. It has under 170,000 right now. So really just a great starter truck. So with the black smoke, I'm actually curious again, you know, just like the 2002, I was curious to see what kind of gas mileage I'm getting on that truck towing. I'm curious to see on this truck towing because this truck actually on the highway empty, I've gotten 18, 20, 21 miles a gallon. And so this truck at times has had really good gas mileage towing. I think I used to get about 12 miles a gallon. We'll see how well I do right now. We'll see if it's not running right, or if it is running right, where we end up landing. But I think with all these trucks, all three of these trucks, and even comparing them to new, there's really pros and cons to each one and each price point. You know, two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive, and gas versus diesel, and high mileage versus low mileage. So I think there's a lot that can be learned from this video, and maybe you'll learn some things or think about some things that maybe you hadn't thought through, and that I kind of pique your ear on them. Okay, we're almost to our big hill, so we will film that climb. We'll try to enter that hill at about 35, which is where we're at in the 2002, and see if we can accelerate up that hill with the diesel. That's one of the pros to the diesel, is it does have acceleration. That's one thing it has going for it. So yeah, with the diesel, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we're driving the 2015 gas truck, because I think that's a little bit better comparison. You know, I would compare, you know, 2005 to 2015 diesel truck to a, you know, 5-year newer gas truck, or I don't know how you want to, you know, high mileage. Let's say that. Let's say a high mileage diesel truck compared to a low mileage gas truck. I think that like a 2015, I think what, you know, gives this truck a little bit of a run for its money. Where it's a little bit of a letdown would be on the climbing hills. The 6.0 with the, at least on the 15 and the 2002, they're both a little bit of a dog going up hills, and they're a little bit of a dog merging on the freeway. Honestly, around town, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a huge loss. So we kind of naturally slow down right here, going over this culvert or whatever it is, hit this corner, and then we're going about, yeah, 35, 40. Let's wait till we're like on this hill, on the incline. We're not accelerating fast by any means, but the 2002 is not moving in speed. We just gained 10 miles an hour, so this thing definitely gets up and goes a little bit better. Definitely a pro to the diesel. I'm really curious to see how the 2015 handles that. Okay, we're rolling up on our 4-way stop up here. We will do our side-by-side comparison. Oh, this truck's gonna be going slow. Think we can catch up to it? $50, 65 mile an hour speed limit sign, and 60. I don't remember where the 2002 is at. I want to say we're a little bit quicker, but not as big of a difference as I expected, honestly. Okay, here's the train tracks. Now I will say this truck's not perfect with the airbags, but the airbags make a huge difference. We're on 45 miles an hour. Yeah, the 2002 is pretty bouncy right here. We're still pretty bouncy right here. So this is just a very, yeah. I don't know if this is any better than 2002. This is just a very bouncy section of the road. The airbags definitely level out the bumps. You know, I would say that the overall ride experience in the 2002 versus the 2007, probably 80% of this drive has been a better, smoother ride. But that was pretty close to the same, so we'll see how the 2015 rides that out. So as we're rolling up to the gas station here, I'm realizing that maybe the odometers are not exactly identical on all these trucks, but we'll find the common denominator and update our miles per gallon if we have to. But we're at 24.6 miles. I want to say we're at 24.9 on the last truck. The last truck had stock size tires. This truck has oversized tires, and the tires on this truck actually match the tires on the 2015, the exact same tire size. So we will see if all three trucks match, or if two match and one doesn't, and then we'll update them all to make it all match. But yeah, we're just waiting here for this guy to air up his tires, and then we will top off with fuel and calculate our gas mileage based off of these numbers. Okay, we didn't record the fill up because we got this guy over here doing the air. Give him some space. He actually moved out of our way so we could fuel up, so that was nice of him. But we've got 24.6 divided by 2.857 equals 8.61 miles per gallon. So we did better than the gas. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it for tonight. It is getting dark out. I'm a little bit worried about hitting a deer, so we will pick this up tomorrow. So far, we're looking pretty good. I'm curious to see how the 2015 is going to turn out. I'll see you tomorrow.